A vote is like a rifle. Its usefulness depends upon the character of the user. Theodore Roosevelt, 1913. Good day, everyone. Today, on Politics, I will be discussing my point of view on the rather awful state of the United States 2016 election. But first, to get it out of the way, fuck Hillary and Trump. I don't find either of them has any business running for any position of power in the government, considering their history, motivations, and character. And thus, I cannot bring myself to such a low that I will give either my vote. But more on this later. Instead, let us begin by looking at the current state of the political landscape in the government and national pose that we're currently in. On the Democratic side, you have lobbyist-bought politicians bending their knees to social justice warrior agendas, the de facto plutocracy, and the party line. On the right, you have a trailing, dying-out breed of effectively theocrats, a la Ted Cruz and company, slightly more sold-out politicians, and them lining up more closely and appealing to alt-right positions. We're currently nestled, as a nation at least, in one of the most divided, polarized, militantly defensive, and opinion isolationist era, with only further division on the fiery horizon. Massive organizations such as Black Lives Matter and the slowly passing third-wave feminism are breeding ever more hard, knee-jerk backlash in the opposite direction, a la the alt-right and other more disparate, disgruntled individuals. The judicial system is backwards, self-contradictory, bloated, overtly dictated by interest groups, extremely costly to the individual and state, and often produces worse offenders than previous to its involvement. Our military is still, as it has been since before the day I was born into the world, overseas fighting in needless intervention after intervention, losing life, limb, and greater for little more than the perpetuation of the military industry. Relations with Russia and China are beginning to regress, us on the cusp of a new Cold War, with evidence for the case that we have been, but with the abundance of proxy wars and espionage all sides are funding. On the two, by the way, they're both mounting a rally in the economic and military fields. What with US sanctions on Russia and Russia's ever-increasing nationalistic authoritarianism, they show signs of progress to a great ascension in worldwide power. China, as it has been for quite some time, has been massively expanding its military, scientific, and economic ventures. In recent examples, their vast plan to create a new grand trade route through the heart of Europe, the just recently launched research space station, creation of what is now the world's most powerful radio telescope, and their immense pressure on claiming the sea to the south of the mainland as just a few examples. Shifting back over to the US, meanwhile, our primary and secondary educational systems are antiquated, overpriced, and crumbling with the burden of the load. Non-military research has been put on a faraway back burner. Bridges, roads, basic utilities, housing, and communication services are increasingly either insufficient or outdated, or reaching the end of their lifespan. Like a great deal of the world, the wealth distribution is overwhelmingly stacked in the hands of the already rich, which work in every way possible to keep it just so. Jobs which do not pay a pittance for the most mundane work require a great deal of luck, education, specialization, or popularity, and are and have been routinely exported to less regulated countries. The small, local business is dead. And here we are, with an endless list far beyond what I've just mentioned, with the two clowns on the run to represent the executive branch, and take the mantle of Commander-in-Chief over arguably the single most powerful military today knows. A corporate shill who is as filthy, moneyed, soulless, puppeted, unprincipled, by the numbers, and robotic as you can imagine. the epitome of an empty suit with a smiling mask. Then, a loudmouthed, ignorant, waffling, loopholing, pedantic, blow air up your ass, macho man, tribalistic, sensitive, somehow more unfactual than his opponent, smug, self-serving douche. The definition of a slimy stage entertainer grasping for something a light year away from his capability. Here, watching and shouting and chanting and praising and lambasting and drawing lines in the sand for one of these two handfuls of shit. Two greater evils. Two people who have not even an iota of reason why they should be seeking the ultimate seat among the greatest figureheads of the world, beyond to serve themselves and their constituents. Not only with their own hands, but also crying out for and soliciting others to propel shit at their opponent, the enemies of their goals, laws and governance that opposes their modus operandi, and anything that displeases them, to throw up social wall after earplugged wall after invalid and obscuring wall in the population of our nation. Little more than living, breathing loudspeakers of the ethos of irrationality, vacuous marching in tow, blind faith, and ignorance. While multitudes like myself are working full-time on the starvation wage of $7.25 an hour, me only surviving now thanks to a series of family agreements, the foundation of the stairwell for individual ascension to success toppling, and the dominoes of social if not civil war being lined up with precision, millions join hands with one of these two as the person they flail their flag of support for to lead the country. While the Union dissolves into a puddle of exhausted, smoldering cinders of what could have been, year by year, chipping away at the cracks and filling them with the gray, matte mortar of a new order. While all of this and more, they rove round their places to be as people to see, neither caring or knowing about what desperately demands a solution, let alone a plan of action. The empty-shelled sock puppet and the walking, talking contradiction of a showman? One will win. As for which, that's up in the air as I speak. But no matter either, we are in a deep, deep descent on this roller coaster of a line graph, and either will be one of the fingers of the hand that helps deliver us. For neither's care is of the people. I will be writing in Bernie Sanders. If a vote either way would do naught but harm this nation, as it were destined from the start, it might as well go for someone I felt deserved it. Thank you all for listening. Whether you found my content enjoyable or detestable, please give a thumbs up or down, share the video with others, subscribe, and contribute to the discussion via my social media and the comments below. If you'd like to become my patron, the link to my page is listed in the description. Till then, everyone, this has been Xilver with a Z.